Any of this, most of this is just asking questions. I had sent Commissioner Boice a little clip. I'd gotten some legal stuff and he did his best to try to answer it, but he's busy and he did call me, which was great. Always is great to hear from him. Like I said, I won't get into the politics end of it here because we could go all day and I don't have that time either. Where does your authority lie and your jurisdiction lie in regards to Kate Brown blocking the state people from working? As I understand it, and I'm not a lawyer, but I have plenty of time because people don't call me to work to read law, and I've been reading law for a number of years. Her emergency only lasts 30 days without bringing the legislator back. She hasn't brought them back. So any of these people that aren't afraid could technically go back to work without any harm. One restaurant I'm aware of was served a notice by OSHA. They're such cowards, they can't put their name on there. Instead, they put these little numbers down there, and then nobody knows what they're talking about when you call the number to ask questions for OSHA. It doesn't state that there's any disease that you're going to get or anything. Just this red deal that says by law, if you remove it, you're going to go to jail or get fined and stuff. So it scares people away. We still have the people that are afraid. We had more people die of heroin overdoses in the state of Oregon last year and the year before than have died from COVID-19. There was no emergency then to shut the state down. So that's as far as I'm going to go with that. I'd like to know where you guys stand, what you can do to override any of this, get us going. We've got one of our largest moneymakers coming to county soon, graffiti and the fair. Some of the largest, and the others have already been canceled for sure. And there's a lot of activities that go on in our county, for our tourism, and the people do well with that. So we're really, and I like graffiti. I've been doing it every year since it's been here, and I do take my grandkids to the fair and don't like going there with the people, but I mean, I take them there. I spend money. I participate in graffiti, and a lot of people are asking, what are we going to do? I don't know. I've got a car ready to go, it always is, but I don't know. Nobody really does know. Do you have any authority to do anything for us with that? And of course, I'd like your opinion of what's going on. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I don't have anything, I'll defer to the chair on that.
Okay, so a couple things. I did find out after the meeting last week that the meeting wasn't live streamed. I talked to IT about it, they had some sort of technical difficulty and I didn't investigate what that was, and I didn't make it a priority for them to fix it. I don't know if the meeting today is being live streamed or not. My direction to them is that I don't care if they live stream the meetings ever again. So there's some cost of doing it. There's a whole bunch of cost in archiving the videos and making them available. I have reached out to some folks that have had some interest in it to try to figure out how important it is to them and see how many people actually watch it. The numbers are fairly minimal compared to the expense. My vote is to not have the meetings live broadcast anymore. So whether they end up being done or not is really up to the other two commissioners. Beyond this point, I don't know. Past that, and in response to your question, Dave, I did read that, and I've heard this question about this governor's authority being 30 days and she has to reconvene the legislature. My guess is that with the majority in the legislature, she did have to reconvene the legislature. She would get an extension, but I don't know that. Sure. This is really a legal question. So I did do some research on it, and this is what I've found so far. But I did read in the media that a group of local churches and individuals filed a lawsuit on this particular issue. So typically when there's a question and enough evidence to support a theory, somebody's going to file a suit. We looked at whether or not that should be us or not. We didn't feel like that was our place to do that for a couple different reasons, but hope that maybe someone would, just for the sake of having the legal question answered, and someone has, so we'll sit and watch and see what happens. This is some legal information that I got. This actually came from the Oregon Secretary of State's office and her legal counsel. So it says, growing out of House Joint Resolution 7 in 2011 and vote of the people, November 2012, there is an authority in XA of the Oregon Constitution for the governor to declare a catastrophic disaster. It has broad authorities that touch on other constitutional provisions. If a catastrophic disaster is invoked, there is a requirement for the governor to call the legislature into session, and the authorities do end at 30 days if not extended by the legislature. It also authorizes different standards for quorum and appearance electronically for legislative votes. The constitutional amendment grew out of the concern that legislators would not be able to attend the Capitol in person after a catastrophic event like Cascadia earthquake, or if the Capitol was unable to be used. And the governor's recent COVID executive orders have not invoked the broader constitutional catastrophic disaster authorities, but instead have invoked statutory authority to declare emergencies under 401 ORS 401.165 and the subsequent powers in ORS 401.168. ORS 401 does not require the governor to call a special session, and the emergency powers do not expire after 30 days. That was the legal answer that I got. So moving on to your next question, what's our authority? Our authority really basically begins and ends with what we close. If we close it, we can open it. And we close the courthouse, we close county facilities. We can encourage folks to do other things, we can understand, we can support, but what we can't do is keep OSHA from coming in and posting a tag on someone's building or writing them a citation. We can't keep the OLCC, which is another state agency, from pulling someone's liquor license. We can't create an umbrella of protection over the citizens of Douglas County that keep them from punishment or I don't know if punishment's the right word, but from enforcement from the state level. We can't do that. And, obviously the commissioners, we've had lots of people call and ask us and tell us that we need to open up. And we would like to open up. We feel like our county, not us personally, but certainly part of the team, have done a great job in managing the pandemic here. And we've gone with no new cases for a month. We didn't have any new cases contracted in the entire month of April. We had one reported in April, but it was contracted before the month began. So we're in real good shape. And we have epidemiologists who are the case trackers on staff that have no work to do. We've got a hospital with nobody in it as far as, for a long time there was nobody in it regardless, but no COVID cases. So we're in really good shape, and we've been ahead of the game as far as asking the governor to consider to allow us to open. I drafted a letter that was sent to 4 other counties for their support, and I was honored to have a unanimous support from all the commissioners from 5 counties, which I don't know how much you deal with other counties, but it's very rare that we can get every commissioner from that many counties all on the same page, and that was rewarding. And we sent that letter into the governor on the 24th and got no response back.
Right.
Other than, we're developing a plan for you to submit an application, which again, as soon as the governor announced late Thursday afternoon where those applications were to be submitted, I sent ours in. So we actually sent our application in on Thursday. I got approval from folks at the state saying, yes, we acknowledge that we've received your application. You don't have to wait until midnight and 1 second tonight to send it in again, or at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, whatever the case may be. So we got our application in very early, and it's essentially been a waiting game ever since. The challenge that we have is, I don't know that we have any real reason to believe that the May 15th date, which is Friday, isn't a real date. But we've got restaurants and other businesses in the community that are looking forward to that as their opening date, but they gotta submit food orders and inventory orders and PPE orders, so that they have the protection for their staff and all that stuff. You know, that all can't happen just instantaneously, it's gotta happen in advance. And obviously, because they've been closed, nobody really has extra money to burn on inventory that they order in that may end up having to go bad because the date gets pushed back.
Right.
So we're kind of in a spot where we just need to know. I actually personally called the governor yesterday afternoon. I've been fortunate to be able to have her be pretty responsive to me. She's answered her phone when I've called in the past. In times when I've had to leave messages, she's had staff people call me right back and help work with me on the different issues that I've needed to work through. And I did call her yesterday afternoon, and so far I've got no response from her or staff. So that tells me that I think she's just extremely focused on trying to get through this, and it's probably overwhelming, and we're waiting. It's one of those hurry up and wait situations. I wish it wasn't. But, so hopefully that answered your question. And we'll continue to wait. I check my email about every 30 seconds. I've done it several times since I've been sitting here. So anyway, that's all I had. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.